Tip number 4, and we've talked about this a little bit in our quotient rule notes page, simplify fractions. Don't just divide the bigger number by the smaller number. Here I am dividing 10 by 2, but let's instead just think of dividing by common factors. Dividing by 2, 5 over 1, so I have 5 times w to the third over x. I'm done since these aren't the same base. So instead of thinking 10 divided by 2, just go ahead and simplify 10 halves as a fraction. Then you're less likely to make a mistake here. So instead of just doing 12 divided by 3, let's divide the numerator and the denominator by 3. That gives me 1/4. Now I have m to the 10th divided by 4, n to the 5th r squared. Really common that students write the 4 in the numerator here, that they just think 3/12 is 4. Now, this is a kind of a subjective little expectation here. No numbers with exponents within reason. So we wouldn't want you to keep your final simplified answer 2 to the 4th x to the 15th, because 2 to the 4th is a reasonable power to calculate the value of. 2 to the 4th, 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. You could calculate that just as 2 times 2 is 4, times 4 is 16, or 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16. However you find that value, we would expect you to write 2 to the 4th as 16 times x to the 15th. However, 9 to the 17th is going to be an enormously huge number. It would not be reasonable to find its value, so we keep this as 9 to the 17th times b to the 3rd. This has been addressed before as well, but we need you to be really careful with negative signs. -3 as our base raised to the 4th power is -3 times -3 times -3 times -3. -3 times -3 is 9. 9 times -3 is -27. -27 times -3 is +81. And then I get to use the product rule as well, x to the 7th. Here, where the negative is not in parentheses, -3 to the 4th is -1 times 3 to the 4th, times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, 3 to the 4th is 81, times -1 is -81 x to the 7th. Very common source of error. If there are parentheses, we are repeatedly multiplying a negative number by itself. No parentheses is just a -1 coefficient times 3 to the 4th power.